guys, I'm Bound to Divide, and today I'm going to show you how to make organic house. Okay, so the main elements in organic house would be your kick, your bass, your hats and shakers, clap or snare, percussion, synths or sampled instruments, and then an ambient or atmospheric vocal, which is totally optional, but can definitely add a lot of character to your track. For key and BPM, you want to choose a slower BPM, probably around 120 BPM. Most of the tracks I see are 120 to 122. And for the key, you can choose major or minor, although I do hear a lot of the tracks on All Day I Dream and other labels like that are written in more Middle Eastern scales, like the Phrygian dominant scale, which if you're in Ableton 11, you're lucky enough to have access to all of these scales. For your kick, you want a nice subby kick with not too much high end on it. Your sub should just be a nice clean sine wave with almost no harmonics on it that just kind of sits there and grooves along with your kick. I added an envelope that is controlling the pitch of the sine wave so that it has a tiny bit of attack on it, and also brought down the sustain to make sure that the note kind of tails out and isn't just one long sustained note. My sub also has some portamento and mono legato enabled so that I can bend between notes nice and smoothly. I then sidechained it to the kick, boosted the sub, and then automated a low cut filter to bring us into the next 16 bars. The MIDI should be a mixture of short and long notes and pitch bends. Here you can see these notes overlap slightly so that they bend into each other. You should try and build alternating phrases to create some interest in your sub and feel like it's always changing and never really exactly the same. I also added a tom to kind of fill out some gaps between the sub notes and the kick notes. It's also a simple sine wave inside of Serum with a kick attack loaded up in the noise oscillator, and again a little bit of a pitch attack created by dragging envelope 2 onto the coarse pitch and bringing down the sustain and the decay to a really short amount. So together with the bass and the kick, we have a groove that sounds like this. Next up is the rest of the percussion. For your clap, you want a nice, snappy, tight clap that doesn't feel too loose or spread out. We have a pretty standard clap made up of 2 layers. First layer sounds like this, second one, and together they sound like that. The open hat is a 909 hat with a short decay and a low sustain with this wide and dirty erosion preset to kind of fill it out and make it feel a bit beefier. I have a second open hat here, which is a shaker that also has this wide and dirty preset on it. The shakers are 2 different loops. And again, we have the erosion trick on there with the wide noise, filling out that shaker and bringing it more into the mid-range. I then have this ride playing 16th notes, which also has a B section that has a different kind of groove. Okay, next up is all the mid-range melodic stuff. So for organic house, you really want to keep the focus on the groove of the track. And how you can achieve that is by keeping your melodic ideas really spaced apart and giving room for that groove to really breathe and show itself. So first up, I found this vocal in Arcade, and I added a bit of around the head panning. Second one. And then I just added short little pieces of the vocal that are landing on the clap. Next up is a pad with a 100% wet reverb with the high end and the low end taken out. And it sounds like this. So this pad is basically just playing a C sharp minor 7th chord. Just to let you know, all of these Serum presets will be available in my preset pack, Dreams, which is available in the description. I regularly send out updates with added presets, and all of these ones will be added to it. Okay, next up is this chord preset, again from my preset pack called Crystallis. And that's going into a compressor and being sidechained. And then we're taking out some of the low end. And at the same time, the sub is following those lower notes. I then have a sitar, which is just a sample I found. And I just cut out a short section of it and placed it only twice through the loop right at the end. I then took out some of the high end, added a little bit of reverb to it and some delay, and it sounds like this. We then have this long drone note that just rings throughout the track. And then I have this little arpeggio. The preset is called Maximus, and that's also from my preset pack, which is essentially just a kind of a triangle wave with some noise on it, and then it's being controlled and modulated by this LFO. Together, everything sounds like this.